G'day, my friend. If you're trying to build healthier habits, you probably know how hard that is. And it's also kind of boring, in my opinion. I just find it really hard to keep up with habits, so they really do become habits. And one way I figured out that works for me is making things more fun and enjoyable. And so I created this little gamified habit tracker. So the mindset that I had going into creating this habit tracker was that I wanted it to feel very mindful and gentle and self-compassionate, but also empowering and fun and exciting. So what's different with this habit tracker is that you're not only just checking off the little boxes and that's about it. You're going on a little adventure. You start with your avatar at level 1, and through doing good habits or bad habits, you earn or lose XP. And by collecting those XP, you level up, and you can also trade those XP in the rewards shop, where you can have little gifts for yourself that you can buy once you've earned a certain amount of XP. Yeah, I think that makes it even more rewarding and exciting and motivating to keep building your healthy habits and to keep everything in the mindful sphere and stay reflective on our behaviors and everything. There's also a little journal included with a daily journal prompt and a weekly review where you can also review the how many good and bad habits you did and how you're just, to check on how you're doing and see how you can maybe improve or what you should focus on or whatever. So let's just walk through the little template so you know what's going on. So when you get the habit tracker, you're first going to come to this little welcome page where you can click on grab your template, which is going to send you to this little overview of the template page. And if you're not logged in yet, then go ahead and do that. If you don't have an account in Notion yet, then you can sign up for free, and I would highly recommend. I love Notion, not sponsored, but still love it. So once you're logged in, you can click on these double squares that say duplicate, and this will duplicate the template into your own Notion workspace. So now we're in the tracker, and this is how it looks. It's pretty minimalistic because that's how I like my things. To keep them clean and minimalistic so it doesn't get too distracting. Now we can start our journey by clicking on this little button here, and this will bring us to the avatar page that you can start customizing right away. I'm just gonna put in my name, and clicking the button will set the journey start date to today, to right now when you click the button. And it will also update the preloaded habits that are already in this tracker to show today, basically. So you can look through them and adjust them or whatever. And then there's like a little welcome section. Here is like a written tutorial kind of explanation of the tracker if you want to read through that, how everything works. But we're gonna go through everything here in this walkthrough. So yeah. I also included this little reflective prompted session here, off to a good start, to just strengthen your mindset a little bit before you set on to this big adventure of creating new habits. Yeah, you can define your vision here. You can reflect on your goals. You can define the habits that you want to incorporate into the habit tracker and a little commitment towards yourself, because I really think that does help with achieving what we set out to do if we just take a little bit of time beforehand and really think about the why we're doing things and how and what we could do to prevent any setbacks or whatever. And yeah, so I just wanted to include that too, and that's in there. And that's it for the avatar profile. You can see your XP here and your level, and you're also going to see that in the profile over here. And in this little profile over here, you can see your current level, the level progress, the total XP you've earned since you started your journey, today's XP, as well as the good habits and the bad habits that you've done today, and an overall today's progress bar. And I think that's pretty motivating because you can see that despite maybe losing XP and doing some bad habits, you still make progress if you do some good habits, and if you don't, then maybe that's a sign that you could reflect on your habits and your intentions behind them and how you approach integrating them into your daily life and things. So yeah, I think that's pretty helpful. And that's that. So now let's get to the goodies and baddies. This is called a gallery view in Notion. And the gallery view is filtered to show today's habits. So whenever you enter your habit tracker, you will see the habits that you're supposed to do today, or rituals or routines. They're categorized by, for example, morning ritual, daily, weekly, evening ritual, but you can also create or adjust your own and maybe even create like a creativity ritual. Like I like to light some candles and incense before I start my work, and also like doing something creative. It just sets the mood and intention. And if you want to build some rituals or routines, you can definitely do that in here. And then you can also see up here, there's like little tabs. You can also see the goodies that you've done today. So if you click this little done button, it will switch over to the goodies done tab. And maybe you noticed, or maybe you didn't because my face is over it, but as I checked the habit as done, I got some XP, and I can do that again. And I get more XP and progress and level and whatnot. And that's basically how it works. And if I do something bad, it will, adjust to that. Basically, you can also see the XP that you're gaining or losing here. If we click on a habit, we can change the XP if we want to. We can change the title or the habit basically. Here's the date when the habit is supposed to be done. Is it done or not? What kind of routine is it? And you can also assign a life area, which there's few ones already in there, and you can also change them up if you don't like them or don't need them. You can delete them or name them differently, like that. And if you go down here, there's a written tutorial again on your habits, and also always included a little reflection section when setting up your habits, because I don't know, I just think that's again just really solidifying our commitment and intention and makes it way easier to stay motivated and everything. So I included that as well. Same for the bad habits, basically. You can change your XP here. Always include a minus for the bad habits, so the formula keeps working correctly. And some other reflections on those habits. And that's basically how it works. Again, there's a baddies done tab as well as a life area tab. Same with the goodies. So you can, see by life area basically. I like to have that, but you can also delete that or change it up maybe into, if you go into the 3 dots over here, you can go to layout, and maybe you prefer a table, for example. So it looks like that. But I'm not really a fan, so I'm just gonna keep it as is. Yeah, by the way, Control Z is undoing things, and Control Shift and Z is redoing things, just so you know. In case you delete something accidentally or whatever. So to make things even easier and comfier, we can set all of these habits up to be recurring ones, so you don't have to manually populate the habits daily or whenever. Notion will do that for you automatically. So how to do that is you go into this little button here, like these two are the same database with different views, so it doesn't really matter in which one you go if you want to change good or bad habits. But you go to that little down arrow, and here you will see all the pre-existing templates for habits that are already there. And then there's 2 basic ones where there's nothing in there already, so you can make your own custom habit. But you could also go into stretching, maybe go to the little dots, and you can edit it here if you want to. So that way you're editing the template of this habit, and so that whenever it gets duplicated, it is exactly how it is here. So let's say you're setting up this template, going through the habits, and actually think that stretching is something that you want to incorporate into your life. Maybe not as a morning ritual, but just like a daily task. So you can change that up here. And maybe you feel like, I think that stretching is quite difficult for me to get myself to do mentally. So I'm just gonna up, maybe not that much, but 20 XP, so it feels more exciting and rewarding to do. So yeah, that's that. You can fill out here these little prompts, and that's about it. The habit is set up basically. And now to set up a recurring habit, we can go back in here into this list on the 3 dots, and then on repeat. And then you have several options every day, every weekday, every week, and so forth. And then just again here you can also choose the interval that you want, when you want this recurrence to start, if it should end, if it's like maybe a time sensitive habit or routine. Yeah, here you can also click on stop repeating to stop the automation basically, and also the time at which this should be duplicated, and save. And now you can see there's these little blue arrows, which indicates that this template is now a recurring one. And you can do that with all of these. You can delete them, edit them, again, however you like. You can have your custom ones start from scratch, and you can also upload your own image here. You just click in here and you can embed a link or a file or whatever, and it will display that image in here. So once you did that, everything habit-wise is basically set up, and you can just start playing. Also, by the way, if you want to make your own little custom habit, I would recommend to choose either a good or bad habit and then duplicate the basic template first before editing it, because that way you're creating a new habit that you can change and customize to your liking, and still have the good habit basic template for you to create new habits from in the future, or the bad habits because, you know, of the prompts here. Yeah. So that's it for the habits, how they work. They're now set up and you're ready to go. I hope this was clear and easy to understand. I'm sorry if not, because this is my first time explaining things on video and stuff, and it's you know. But yeah, I hope that helped. If you still have questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. And now we're going for the other stuff, the journal, the reward. The reflections part is basically just a little summary of your habits and your journaling routines. Here you can see all the entries of this month, and you can also see all the entries that you've ever written. And here you can see the goodies and baddies for this week, and you can also see them for this month. And yeah, I think that's pretty neat to look back on. So now for a little journal, pretty simple, just displaying this week's entries. And you can also see the type of the entry here, and the mood, and some little tiny habit reflection. So if you wanted to start journaling, you could either go into the quick cap menu here and journal now, or do a weekly review just by clicking on these buttons. And this will create a new daily entry. As you can see, there's little prompts in here as well. You can change the image if you wanted to. You can take your own photo of the day or week or whatever and put it in here. Same for the weekly review. You can click the button here and it will populate a weekly review template. There's more prompts in here to, you know, just to have it as a weekly routine to keep you motivated and reflecting, and there's different prompts in each of those toggles. You can add a mood and a little reflection on how satisfied you are with your habits this week, or today if it's a daily entry. You can also just click in here, so you can see the ones that we just created populated here as well. And there's also little templates for you here. If you wanted to make new templates, you can add them here, or adjust the ones that are existing. You can do that as well. Go to duplicate first to keep the basic one, and just make your own from that. And that's it for the journal. So now for the rewards shop. Here's the shop in this tab, and here in this tab is your claimed rewards. We don't have any, we just started our journey, so maybe let's just actually we should have enough XP. Yes, see, 40 XP available to claim, 900 XP not available. So this will update automatically once you can claim it. Let's do that, and now it's ours. We can cuddle our cat. Yeah, you can also refund if you made a mistake or whatever, but I would not try to not abuse that. And it also tells you when you claimed the reward. I think that's cute. So I can look back onto that as well. And that's how it works basically. So to add a new reward, you're just gonna add a new page, and then you can enter the XP cost and the name, also your own image if you want to. You can just click on these little dots, delete this one and upload a new one. And there's also some little reflections on why that reward is rewarding and stuff, to just keep things intentional and everything. And that's that. So that's basically it for the habit tracker, but there's one more thing that I want to show you, and that's this little quick cap area that we saw earlier, where you could, with the click of a button, just add a reward or a new weekly review or a journal entry. We can do the same with specific habits to be checked off if we click the button. I'm just gonna show you. This is the back end, and you should definitely not delete this because these are all the core databases basically of the tracker that make everything work. So definitely do not delete. And then there's also a mobile widget page. When you click on it, you can set this specific page to be a widget on your phone basically, so you can quickly access it whenever you need it. And yeah, again, the quick cap, and just to show you how it works. So to set up specific habits to easily check off, just click here, select this button, Control D to duplicate it. So you haven't, if you want to do multiple ones, you can do it that way. So to customize this button, we're gonna edit it, and we're just gonna call it read, and go into the filters here, which, it checks for a habit that contains something specific, and that would be read for 20 minutes here, and where the date is today. So basically if I click the button, a habit with a specific name that has the date of today is checked off as done. So I'm gonna save that, click on done, and see, we have the read for 20 minutes over here. And now we're gonna check it off, and now it's gone. It's in the goodies done. And you do the same for all the other habits that you want to have a quick button for, and same with the bad ones. Yeah, so that's that. My friend, this is the walkthrough, and I really, really hope that if you already bought the habit tracker, that it can really support you along your journey, and help you also realize that every tiny step that you take matters and will get you to where you want to be in the end, as long as you keep going. I know how hard it can be sometimes, because we have these expectations on ourselves, like, oh, I want to do this and that, and then we don't really follow up to those expectations, and then this can turn into like really negative self-talk, like I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm lazy, I'm worthless, blah blah blah. And these things are just not true. And so yeah, it's kind of my dream to help other people who struggle with these kind of things to just overcome these lies, basically, that we tell ourselves that are so unnecessary and just hindering our progress and growth. And when in reality, we're just wonderful, creative people that had experiences in the past that shaped us and our beliefs and everything. And yeah, that not necessarily reflect the truth of who we are. And I think that we all have something great to share and do in the world. And yeah, I just want to encourage you to do that for yourself, basically. And so yeah, I hope that my habit tracker helps you along the way, in a way, while being fun. And there's also a variation coming soon of it, focused more on the business side of things, like when you want to start your creative business. So if you're interested in that, maybe consider subscribing so you stay up to date. And I really hope to see you really soon. And I wish you a wonderful, beautiful, sunny day. The sun is coming out here finally, and I'm so happy for spring, you guys. Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, anyways, see you soon. Thanks so much for your time, and see you soon, as I said.